to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Mr. Ayer.
Here.
Mr. Bartlett.
Here.
And I know Mrs. Brown Knight will be here later this evening, so we're not going to excuse her. Dr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Van Stone.
Here.
Mr. York.
Here.
All right. All right, questions regarding the minutes. We have two sets of minutes. August the 12th and August the 12th, even though one was committee of the whole. No questions? Everything satisfactory? Yes, well, then a motion and a second to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone? Aye. Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, the committee of the whole minutes?
I move that we accept them unless somebody had comments.
Second.
Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Excuse me, Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone? Aye. Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, we'll go with those minutes. All right, in communications, we have Chief's report. Very lengthy, well-done report, Chief, I must say.
Sir.
And if you guys will notice, Chief got some very nice correspondence from some residents about watching houses when people are on vacation, so on and so forth. I think he also got a very nice drawing from a child.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah. Well, it's all very nice. And Chief, you want to talk about the letter that we got from, well, before you do that, are there any questions regarding his report? No? All right. Chief, you want to mention the letter?
Yes, you have in front of you, I think, a copy of the letter from the Aldenwood Police Chief with their gratitude for us donating the police car to them. It was a real need for them, and it'll help them out hopefully for a little while anyway. So they were very thankful of that, and it was a nice letter they sent.
Yeah,
Thanks.
good letter.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to mention was the Safety Services Night Out. It was a huge success. Air Care came in. We had the K-9 presentations. A lot of people came to it, and a lot of positive comments from residents, a lot of phone calls, emails, people commenting the night of and even after the event. I've seen people in the community, and they just love that night, and we love to do it. It's our favorite event of the year. And I just want to thank Detective Rennie and Officer Watt, under the supervision of Assistant Chief Pitsley. They did a great job setting everything up, and it's just a really, really good event. So then there was one other thing I wanted to mention. I received a thank you email from Dan Hoying from Fieldhouse Way. Real nice letter of thanks about the Tour de Crown bike ride that was here on Saturday, and said that he was really complimentary of the police department and the village for the way it went here and how we had things coned off and it went real smooth. So again, thanks to Lieutenant Ossendorp and Ted Brown, who set all that up and made that go really smooth. So end of report. Thank you.
No. Thanks, Chief. All right. All right, the summary report for the priority. Matt, do you want to?
Yeah, I hope that everybody had a chance to look in their packet at what the compilation of the results of everyone ranking projects. If you haven't, it's in the packet. I condensed it to 2 pages with the top page being a summary of the ranking. And Mayor, I don't know how much time you'd like to spend on that this evening, but I have a few comments about it.
Okay.
Number one, everybody in Mariemont seems to agree that replacing the concourse pergola is the #1 priority project.
What are you telling me?
Especially since it's already been
We're
started.
telling you, you're doing a nice job.
Get
That's what
busy?
we're telling
Get to
you.
work?
So that's one thing that's very clear. Another thing that seemed clear to me is that certain projects we had listed for 2024, and several of those are ranked very high, and I don't know if we could do it at the meeting tonight. I don't know if we can do that, but it would be good to agree on moving forward with those 2024 permanent improvements, which I believe we all pretty much plan to anyway. Those specifically being the new wading pool, which is subject for later in the meeting. The Patriot Park replaced the picnic pad. That's very highly ranked, and the timing is fantastic, and it's a very low-cost project, $4,000. Everyone is, for the most part, everyone is in agreement that the administrative office remodel should be budgeted for this year. And it seems to me that we should, the LED lights, when we ranked them, we didn't actually have all Bob's information, but now that we do, those are high enough up and we know the exact cost, so that would be another one in 2024 that I would certainly think it's just one of those things that's just kind of obvious, clear as the nose on your face kind of thing, that we should go ahead and move forward with that for 2024. And then the other one on my list would be, or on the list that came out, is on the concourse. We don't have an actual quote yet from our favorite masons to do the tuck pointing, but that seems to be a high priority project that we should perhaps budget. So another couple things that I found interesting is that in general, there's agreement. There's generally agreement if you look at how council ranks things, how staff ranks things, combine them into an overall rank, or there's general agreement on what's the most important and what's the least important. But some things that I did learn, I hadn't really thought about it this way, is Chief, whose opinion that we all hold very highly, he ranked the item that ended up last on the list, add lighting to the parking lot, as a #1. And so when Chief ranks something #1, I wake up, I go like, hey, I wasn't thinking about that. And I wondered if you'd comment on your #1 ranking for that item.
Sure. When you're talking about parking lots, especially in the area of the Dale Park there, my take on it is lighting's
The lighting, yeah.
a very, very good thing from a safety standpoint. It'll deter crime, and just lighting the area up, I think, makes people feel safer too. So that's why I ranked it where I ranked it.
Has the
from a
municipal lot,
safety
has the
standpoint.
municipal lot been a problem area from time to time with car break-ins and things?
We have had some there in the Old Town Center area, yeah, and it's not lit very well.
I know that for sure.
So from a safety standpoint, that's why I gave it the high ranking.
Right. And I think that we have an estimate on that, that's just kind of more of a guesstimate, or swag, whatever you want to call it. So that would be something that if we were to, and I'm not saying how we should prioritize things or not, but I think something that comes out of that is we should probably find out what a lighting design really would look like and how much it really would cost. So I don't know if that's something you might want to assign to a committee or something, Bill, but that's, we always talk about how, well, we shouldn't light it till we pave it, and we haven't paved it yet. But then again, too, if we're talking about a lighting design, that lighting design may be best to have a little island in the middle, or it needs wiring to go underneath the lot. So it seems to me that that's something that
Time to do that is before we pave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. And then the other thing that jumped out at me, I was looking for consistency, and then I was also looking for outliers, or like the Chief's outlier, or places where we're not completely aligned. And one of those is on the Dale Park sidewalk, which has had a wide variety in its ranking. And I think that that completely makes sense too, because we haven't really seen what that even would look like if we did it. So that's just my comment on that. It makes sense that one's, oh, and then one last one is that talking to Ben, he ranked the leaf vac or loader backhoe, he ranked it very low, and he's like, I don't need that anymore. I got a better way of doing this. I have and so talk to Ben.
No.
Give me that look. Talk to Ben.
No, I'm not giving,
Yeah.
I'm giving him a look, but no,
Yeah.
it's not a look.
And so I just thought you might be surprised. I was surprised because I thought it was something. But he said that the vac is in good shape. It's kept in really good shape. Kevin did an amazing job keeping it in tip-top shape. And he has a mechanic that I understand that we're contracting with to kind of keep it that way. So that was interesting to me I mean, I personally rank that high because if Ben says he needs it, and I know we need leaves backed up, and if we didn't have leaves backed up, we'd have a real problem. So but apparently he doesn't see that as a priority. Another thing I found interesting. That's my summary.
Very good.
I have a question.
Yes.
So based on what we'd already agreed to do, was any of those knocked, a lot lower because of something that was added, like the Patriot Park pad?
No, I'll let, Rob has studied this tracked against our budget more
Kelly and
closely than I
did.
have. Yeah.
Kelly and I did.
Yeah, so how would you summarize that, Rob?
Well, so Kelly, we want to talk, or you mean, because we met last Thursday. We went through and said,
Well-
okay, here's the budget and here's what the rank.
Well, I just want to clarify one thing. We're talking about 2024 budget. We set that budget at the
Yes.
beginning of the year.
That's what
And we've already got, the pergola was budgeted, the office remodel was budgeted. Other items that are not on this list were budgeted, and I'm just a little confused as to why we would add stuff to the 2024 budget when in actuality it should go in 2025.
Right, and I didn't explain that very well, but we put them on our list, on our project list for ranking the importance of completing them, because some of them may go into 2025 or whatever the case may be. But you're absolutely right, those are already budgeted, they're already in the budget and so forth, and so the only the adders really is the Patriots Park that cropped up, and then getting the details on the LED lights, having the cost information for that.
We had LED. We had
Right.
10,000.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
we
LED
did.
part, yeah, I just asked.
Right, but we've got a new cost estimate that's a real deal cost for that, right? I mean, that's.
Well,
Do you know, I'm
We have-
sorry.
We have an estimate, but I want to see the bid come back in writing.
Yeah, okay.
Well, do you have an estimate for the price of the bulbs, or?
Bulb,
Because I know,
lamp, and the installation.
I know, because
All in.
Ben had said that he didn't feel comfortable doing the installation.
Builder Grass are gonna do it.
So do we know, I'm just curious if
It's
it's,
He gave an
uh,
estimate.
he had-
He gave an
if it's
estimate
under
yesterday.
our
That's in my
required.
report, it's $75 per
Lamp.
street light to do the electrical work, and it was about, I'm trying to pull off the top of my head, about $300 for the bulb and the globe.
Okay, so what we're gonna do in 2024 will be within the budget that we set for
10
2024?
plus the 7 from MPF, yes.
Okay.
And Kelly, I've got a question, because I don't remember, when we set the permanent improvement for 2024, was a new wading pool in it? 'Cause
No.
No,
And there's no
No.
spending this year from the village in this plan either.
right.
Okay,
And then the two things we took out that were in the original budget is we had money in there for actually three things, right? We have sidewalk repairs, because we're waiting for to understand what the full plan is.
For Dale Park?
No,
Or- oh, you
no,
mean-
All
just-
sidewalk
Yeah,
projects.
the
Oh,
whole
okay,
municipal, all the municipal
Okay.
parts of the sidewalk. We took that out, we took the park bench replacement, and we also took the tree planting out, because we recognized the tree planting is actually already covered in the service department.
Right.
So that was like $20,000 that we had originally budgeted that is no longer earmarked for anything. So the pad that we do at Patriots Park, we could use that 20,000 to cover the 4,000 for the pad.
It, still being a newbie, do we have to have a finance committee make that recommendation, or can we do that here?
Well, I think the pad is actually in health, and that was the report that we tabled last time. And
Yeah,
we said
but-
we were gonna talk it here. to be able to.
So let,
I was responding to what, I'm talking about what the process is
Correct.
to get things appropriated. You know, we can plan a budget, but that doesn't mean that Kelly would approve doesn't have it appropriate. So I'm trying to figure out, if we want to change things around in '24, what do we have to do?
That's a Kelly question.
Well,
Okay.
I think you'd have to have a recommendation come from one
Right.
of the committees, just like you've done for Patriots Park,
Well,
right?
that's
Patriots
fine.
Lane,
I'm
Patriots
just trying
Lane.
to say, what is the process?
Yeah.
well, if it, so that we are, just to clarify, talking about the pad in
Let's focus
Patriots
on the
Park.
pad, yeah,
Okay. And how much?
It's 4,000.
4K.
Okay. So we would just need to change an appropriation to that amount, so we could actually, well, no, it's less, so we could just go ahead and do it, and we'd still just carry that amount over, whatever the difference is, carry over to next year.
So
But there's a recommendation that needs to come from a committee or something.
Oh,
That-
right.
that's
I mean,
what-
I
that's what-
can't,
that,
right.
we're gonna get that recommendation tonight. I just
Right,
wanted to
right,
make
yep.
sure
Yeah.
we could do it and didn't have to have another hoop we had to jump through.
Right.
Okay, that's,
So it's very similar to yours with Patriots Lane. You know, we're gonna make a
Except we needed
recommendation.
to do
and-
supplemental, except we do
Yeah.
need to do
so
supplemental.
once again, we didn't accept that bid until we knew that Kelly it would be 100% funded.
Which is in tonight's packet.
So-
I understand.
So Rob, what you just said about, you know, this being left for this and that being left for that, could you like give us a summary of that in writing?
Sure.
I mean, just, it's hard for me to keep it straight, okay?
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
I get you.
I mean, you said it, and I couldn't write as fast as you were talking, and
Yep,
I'd
I
like
would
to
be
have
happy
a
to do that.
hard
And I
copy of
will,
it.
but I will bounce it off of Kelly first
Well,
before I
yeah,
send it out, so.
yeah, or Kelly, it can come from you, I mean, whatever.
Yep.
Are we good?
So I think tonight we need to address the 2024 projects. Are we going to do, so we've got two new ones. And then we had, my notes, we had the pergola, which we've already started.
Yeah, we've already
allocated.
budgeted,
Remodel, we had 75 set aside for that.
Right.
LED, 10,000.
yep,
And I'm showing we had 15,000 for Dale Park sidewalk and final design. And we had 5,000 for the Emery Stone to repair at the tennis courts. So we need to decide tonight, do all those stay or do they go? And do we add, I think there's two to add, correct? There's the wading pool and perhaps the pad.
Well, that's not a 2024 project.
the waiting pool is 2025.
But I thought we had to have money for 2020.
Well, the wading pool, we have to address how we're going to have the private funds cover the 2024 work.
Correct.
That's what we'll get
Okay,
to
so,
later in the meeting.
so
But as
you're
far
right.
as
So all of
appropriating the village money,
2024,
that's
all of
2025.
2024 will be private funded.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
And I think that's not a lot for actual 2024
Probably true.
Not a lot of what?
Money.
Of the money.
money.
Like
That would-
$140,000.
Oh, I mean that
That's
you're,
when it gets
that
spent
we'll
till
be
next
getting, right,
No village funds
No village fund.
In 24.
in
in
24.
24, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
That again will
Because
be,
in 24, it's just the demolition essentially, correct?
No.
We're gonna be,
Right, now, once the demolition goes, the pool company is ready to build us a start on certain aspects of the pool, get the steel down, get the concrete work done.
so then we do have sufficient funds then to cover that work for 24.
Correct.
we
Okay.
Well,
Well,
it hasn't arrived yet.
we have not got it
I'll
yet.
get to that, we'll get to that,
All
but
right,
yes.
all
the
right, well,
answer
maybe
is
we're,
yes.
yeah, we're.
To respond to
Details,
Randy,
details.
let me tell you.
Pardon?
The details. Sorry.
Go
I,
ahead.
no, I kind of talked over you, go ahead.
It's my understanding, as I heard Rob talk, and we listed these projects for '24, the only change that's gonna has to happen is in the capital improvement fund, we swap out some of the projects that were where we saved money for the $4,000 for Patriot Park pad. Am I wrong in that?
I think
All
so.
the rest were already funded.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Okay, so that's the only thing that is gonna have to be done, and we're gonna have to wait for a committee report for Kelly to do that update.
No, no, except that
Oh,
we
that's
have
right,
that
it's
I
tonight.
got it tonight.
You're right, I'm sorry.
Yep.
And then that walkway at Mary Emery was rated very low. I mean, it's 16. And that was budgeted in 2024. I do have a bid for it. Do we still want to do it?
Well, again, as we talked about that, I think at last council, essentially, that's a sidewalk, and the sidewalks are in Bob's committee, and sidewalks evaluation in terms of priority, I thought was gonna be done as he evaluates all of the municipal sidewalks.
Well, it's really not, it's a little different than a sidewalk. It's an aggregate
The
pad.
concrete may be different, but, I mean, that's.
Well, we've done all the work, we allocated the money, and we have the bid. I don't know why we have to move it now.
It's fairly unsafe. It's actually starting to, I mean.
I know, but there
That's
are a
not-
lot of
That-
unsafe
that is
sidewalks.
That's not like
been-
a
Municipal
concrete.
sidewalks.
No, it's
in the
a
village.
piece
It's
of
a-
aggregate.
The real question is,
So
does
it's-
it belong in Public Works or in Randy's committee? That, to me, that's the,
Well, it
think-
was in
I
a
think
park,
we're
and
past
that's
that.
kind of how it ended up with, in this health and rec in the beginning.
but most of the sidewalks are in the parks. That's what I'm asking the question. If you list our list of sidewalks, they're almost all on the perimeter of parks.
It doesn't matter to me. I
I don't care.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
just asking for.
Sidewalks should be a safety committee thing. It's a safety issue.
So it's his.
Are we playing hot potato now?
Sidewalks.
I say we put it in committee of the whole. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
Matt still gets it.
It's just like the airport, it's a
Well, all
moving
right, I mean,
sidewalk.
all right, then
It's a moving sidewalk.
can be in Public Works as well, Bob.
It's whatever this group decides.
I know
Rod
you're
Holloway is evaluating
overworked
all the
with the pool.
sidewalks as we
Pool
speak.
is, wherever you put it is fine with me too, I don't care.
I am cool with sidewalks being, no, I think that makes sense. This just ended up in health and rec because it was in a park.
Right.
Yeah.
Could we reach agreement that this aggregate pad thingy at the tennis court, which is unsafe and does need to be replaced, is really part of the tennis facility, more so than it being a sidewalk? I mean, just because we've already worked on it, we've gotten this far, we have a bid, we
Well,
could accept it and do it?
We can massage a point, I think, to the point of, I don't know what.
Into the tennis court.
It's a sidewalk. Is it a dangerous sidewalk?
so.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. But we have all kinds of dangerous sidewalks, and all I'm suggesting is that we do the most dangerous first. The fact that it's an aggregate walk, that's just a simple little concrete variation.
No, I understand that.
But
It's, I don't think there are very many sidewalks that are starting to tilt and go down a hillside.
But again. the
we have
whole
some
reason
right
I-
out in front of the building
The
that
whole
you could
reason
trip
I
on.
was really pressing the priority, and like I said, Matt, it's a very, very good start, is this should have been discussed before it got put in the
Correct.
2024
Yeah,
budget.
yeah.
But Randy's
that's
already
what-
got,
that's
he's
what I'd
already
like
got
to
the
do.
It
bid.
was already, this one was already discussed. It was in the 2024 budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a bid for it.
We had,
When was it
we-
discussed?
It was in the budget, yes.
Yeah, it was in the budget from, this is going way back to,
but was it a listed priority?
we
by the
never did
council?
that.
Yeah,
never
we
did
didn't have that
exercise
yet.
last year.
All right, so,
Just one other thing, just to be clear. So again, when Kelly and I went through this, in 2024 and in 2025, there's actually enough money to do these projects, right? So we've prioritized them, which I think is a good exercise, because if something else comes up and it gets shoved in here, maybe something at the bottom goes off. But
Right.
right now, there was enough money in both 2024 and 2025 to do all these projects.
Yes.
May I,
So just for clarification.
Yeah.
well, I'd like to clarify something, please. Old Town Municipal Lot, again, that's the,
By the chapel
okay,
and Dale School.
okay, so that's the same lot, okay. Paving,
And that was in the budget for 25.
yeah, we moved that out of,
In the 5-year forecast.
Right.
yes,
Yep,
agreed.
yep.
We did put it in for 2025 in the 5-year forecast.
well, should we move on in the meeting and let these come out in the committee reports and then talk about?
Well, Randy's sidewalk is not in the committee report. I think we ought to, look, all I'm saying is I just want to prioritize it. But he's already got the bid and got the work, and I understand it, yes, we can stretch a point and say it's in a park, I get that. So, if you want to make a motion to do it, make a motion.
Okay, I move that we go ahead and go forward with the project that was already previously budgeted for the walk there.
Okay. Second?
Second,
All right.
what?
Yeah, Billy, he ought to be.
What was the total cost on that?
All right, Mr. Air?
Randy, what was the total cost on that?
I think it's like 5,000.
To do that, okay.
Despite the fact this is only ranked number 15 overall, I'm gonna say I'm in favor, because, all the reasons we talked about.
Sure.
Aye.
Aye, because I'd heard it was unsafe.
Van Stone,
Aye.
York, all right.
Aye.
All right.
Oh, I don't get to do that anymore.
Looks like we're fixing a sidewalk.
Do it.
There still has to be a request to spend the money though, right?
Well,
Is it 5,000? Because if it's over 5,000?
Well, we needed an
I'd have to look.
exact number.
yeah.
Right, because if it's 5,000, it better down under 5,000, Randy. Tell them no more than $499.99.99.
Well, you got a good bid on it, right?
I'm sorry?
You got a good bid on it, right? Yeah, all right.
I mean, you have to jack it. I mean, it's a pretty specialized.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, whoa, we're just jacking it? We're not replacing it?
No, it's
a slab jack.
It's two slabs that
Yeah.
are falling off.
Yeah.
And they're gonna come in and they're gonna take out the underlayment and just jack it up, and I don't know if they pump concrete or
They
down there
do.
to.
That's how they lift it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You have one, Allison?
All right, so bids for the wading pool project summary. Have you covered?
You wanna, why don't we do that when I get to the
Yeah,
committee report?
Yes.
okay, yeah, okay.
Before hearing of the public people want to be heard.
Yes. Yes, we now have permission to address council. Do we have anyone back there who wishes to address council?
You bet.
Ma'am, ladies? No, you sure? All right.
They just came because the Olympics is over.
Really? Can't,
But they haven't started yet.
can't be that much fun.
And I heard The Bachelor is really boring this season too.
Oh, God, who watches that?
Or
Who watches
Bachelorette, I
that?
guess.
All right, everybody looked at the bills. Any question regarding the bills? No?
No,
No?
damn it.
Okay, then, do we have a motion to pay the bills?
So
No.
moved.
Second.
Mr. Air?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone? Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, let's pay the bills. All right, now we do have quite a number of committee reports tonight. And we will start off, I wanted to remind Susan, I guess I'll do that when she gets here. All right, Randy, it looks like you're gonna be first,
I'm first. Well, let me find it.
okay? Gotta,
Yeah, where is it?
Okay.
Oh, my.
The Health and Recreation Committee met on Monday, June 29th at Patriot Park. Present at the meeting were Health and Recreation Committee members Randy York and Matthew Ayer. Also in attendance were Mayor Bill Brown, Maintenance Supervisor Ben James, Zoning Officer Rod Holloway, and 20 area residents. The purpose of the meeting was to propose volunteer-driven updates to Patriot Park. On Friday, June 19th, Randy York, Ben James, Rod Holloway, and Steve Pipkin surveyed Patriot Park to develop a plan for cost-effective and volunteer-driven park improvements that would be executed on Patriot Park, at Patriot Park on Volunteer Day to be scheduled on Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. This exercise was prompted by the planned repaving of Patriot Lane. The Health and Recreation Committee reviewed the proposed updates to Patriot Park and requested and noted area resident input on each project. Listed below are the proposed upgrades and near consensus recommendations of their area residents. Asphalt pad, the asphalt pad is used by residents, they want to keep it, and they requested that it be repaid. Engineer Erdl estimates that an overlay of the area with 2 inches of asphalt would cost approximately $2,100. He later confirmed that a grind and replace would be $4,000.
yeah.
The honeysuckle, the residents want to keep it, it will not be removed. The residents also requested the ivy around the pine trees be removed and replaced with pine straw, the sign in the middle of the park to be removed. 2 additional park benches would be added, one at the asphalt pad and one at the west end of the park. The trash can will remain, a doggy bag dispenser will be added. The Arbor Day tree that is in the middle of the park will be evaluated for relocation to the perimeter of the park, and 4 to 6 trees would be added around the perimeter of the park. based upon input from the Tree Advisory Board and the Park Board. In addition, 5 distressed trees and shrubs that have been identified for removal, and these have been designated in the park with a pink ribbon. Other trees in the park will be evaluated for possible removal only if necessary, and limbed up, crowning, cleaning, lifting. Finally, John Swisher agreed to take the lead on repairs and reconditioning of the Tyler Swisher Monument, including the flagpole, pad, and lighting. An additional memorial is being proposed, but that would need to be reviewed by Village Council. The residents also expressed frustration with ongoing damage to the park from Rumpke trucks, and the committee requests that the mayor assign this issue to the Public Works Committee. The Health and Recreation Committee recommends that the necessary funds be approved and allocated for Patriot Park. This includes asphalt overlay, tree crowning, cleaning, lifting, and potential removal by a third party, and the procurement of 6 additional trees that will be planted by volunteers in the fall. This project cost to the village is estimated at $7,000, with all other upgrades executed by volunteers under the direction of Mariemont under the direction of the Mariemont Maintenance Department. The meeting adjourned at 7:30. Respectfully submitted, Randy York and Matthew Ayer.
Is that 7,000 in addition to the 4,000 to replace the pad?
No, so we went over this last time, so what we determined was to redo, the crowning and lifting would be not included in this. So this 7,000 included an estimate for crowning and lifting, maybe $2,400. How much was the trees? They were $1,500 or so for trees, and then at that point, it was the $2,100 for the grinding. So if we go to $4,000 for total replacement or grinding and repaving, and then add six trees, $1,800 for trees, so it would be $5,800.
And what about the crowning?
That would come out of the regular operational budget for the maintenance department.
But just for clarification, the trees we've decided wouldn't be permanent improvement funds. It's 4,000 in permanent improvements and 1,800 in.
Yeah, and we
General
talked about
fund.
adding an incremental $1,800 to the tree budget to cover
Yeah.
this, because the tree advisory board wanted to stay with their allocation.
Well, in the tree advisory board, those street trees,
Correct,
not park trees.
correct.
So that's why you wanted to be incremental.
I wanted
Incremental to
their
what?
input on the trees, because of diversity and all of that. I think it would be worthwhile.
I think we talked earlier, it was pretty clear about the 4,000. But the remaining cost, for example, my question is, what will the service department not do in the remainder of the year if they do this crowning this fall?
Well, this will be a third party. It would not be the maintenance group.
But they have a budget.
Correct.
So that means the money that they were gonna spend on something will not be spent.
Well, potentially, because remember how it swings, right? The
Oh, I
tree
understand all that.
So, because again, Kelly and I looked at that for this year. Kelly, if I remember right, it was like 51,900, and there's 22,000 that had not been appropriated yet. Does that ring a bell for you?
I'm sorry, in which,
In the service department, the tree removal
Oh,
and
yeah.
trimming and all that other kind of stuff, you and I looked at it and we
Yeah.
said, okay, there's 51,600. And there was still 22,000 that hadn't been appropriated yet. Now, there has been some additional work, but I don't think it's used up all 22,000.
Yeah, there's
Because
a lot more work to
because we
come.
talked about how one year was 43,000 and next year it was like 56,000.
I understand
so-
that.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's
Sure.
getting to be late in the year.
Yep, yep.
And I just wondered where we are, where the, for lack of a better word, $7,000 was gonna come from. That's all.
Right,
So
right.
includes
And it
tree
would need,
crowning, cleaning.
I think Kelly would need to look and see and talk to Ben to say, okay, we had 22,000 still
what do you
left.
still need?
Yeah. To see if he can fit that within the 22 or not.
So I totally agree, we're fine on the 4,000, at least I'm fine on the 4,000. I'm a little bit nervous about the 7,000 till we get the clarification where it's coming from.
But you said the 7,000 was actually 5,800.
Well, if you say that the parking lot's 4,000, And we've got, I'm not including crowning and lifting in this number, because actually the trees shouldn't, if this is permanent improvement, it should only be $4,000 that we're talking about. As
Correct.
far as the new trees, that would come out of the tree budget if this body agrees that 6 more trees for that
The
part.
new trees.
The new trees.
The added to the addition to the tree budget.
And then however process we use, whether to say from the maintenance department, is this, the crowning and lifting in this park a priority for 2024? There's one tree that's really hollow and really in
Well,
bad
it's gotta
shape.
come out, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's a concern.
yeah.
So I think to Bob's point, we sort of need to let Kelly let us know where
Yeah,
things stand.
that's fine. I think it's a good project. I think it's worthwhile doing. I just get nervous about, oh, this will come from here and this will come from here, and I'm going, huh, what?
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all.
my understanding that Shawnee's out to October anyway, as
Yeah,
far as
yeah, they're
doing
really
the
booked out.
maintenance.
The one tree that needs to come out, that we can take that out, I think.
We-
We don't
I
have-
wasn't, I'd not had that conversation with Ben, so I don't know the answer to that.
That'd be good.
Yeah, well, I mean, just making a quick assessment from standing down there and looking at it, I think it's a tree. Because it's not, you're in no danger of it dropping on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also thought that, I'm trying to recall it, Kristen wanted 30 trees this fall, was that the right number?
35.
35.
And we had enough money for those 35, I thought, but I don't know if we have money for these additional trees as well.
And we'll look at that.
That's so fine. I just want to make sure we get it all figured out.
Okay. All right, any other questions? We good? Okay. You've heard the report, a motion and a second to accept.
So moved.
Second,
Mr. Air?
aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Well, I thought we were just gonna get clarification on whether we had the money to do all this stuff. I thought that was the point that we just made.
Are-
So I guess I don't see.
Well, I think we could say pending, right? We could say pending whether.
Yeah, I mean, we can accept the report with that.
Well, that's a different motion though, right?
Yes.
If I may, what we need to do is really, it's all about the $4,000.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna come in and do all this, and I know Chris has to update that
Right.
contract,
So
and we don't
could-
have to rebid it.
So can we make a motion to amend the report to approve the $4,000 and revisit the approval of the additional amount pending reconciliation by our fiscal officer?
Yeah, we can do that.
It's good by me.
Good by me.
Okay.
Okay,
is
somebody's
that the
gotta
mo-
second my motion.
Second.
Second. Okay, to amend. Mr. Air?
Aye.
Yep, aye.
Yeah, Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone?
Aye.
York? Okay, now to accept the amended report.
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Air?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right,
And a-
one down.
almost.
Woo!
So in
Wait.
summary, by accepting this report, we have voted and approved spending the $4,000
Yes.
in permanent
That's all
improvements
we've
for the
done.
pad.
That's all we've done.
And what about, but we haven't approved the 6 new trees?
Well, I think
Or have we?
No, because
That's
she needs
the
to
pending
confirm.
part.
We need to-
That's the pending part.
Yeah.
There was 20,600 that was built in for trees.
But we
and
need
the
to make
30
sure
The
that
35
it's-
trees was something like about 18,000
yeah,
something. So the question is, gonna be enough room to be able to get
But
6?
We'll
at
figure
our
that
last-
out.
At our last meeting, we assured the tree advisory board that these 6 trees would not be included
Correct.
in their
Right, right. So
budget.
Correct.
They're gonna get
Right.
the 35. The question is,
Yeah.
is there enough room still left to fit in these remaining ones?
All right,
And we just have to buy the tree stock. We don't have to,
correct.
volunteers will
That's why it's
plant.
such a great offer, because we have Steve Pipkin supervising volunteers installing them. It's a good deal.
All right, now you made me lose my place. I think, Rob, are we up to you?
Yep.
Yep, all right.
Okay. Finance Committee met on Monday, August 19th, 2024, at 4 PM to discuss renewing the village's risk management insurance. Present at the meeting were Finance Committee members Rob Bartlett and Bob Van Stone, Mayor Bill Brown, Senior Administrative Assistant Joni Van Pelt, and Carrie Novosol from Highland. The Finance Committee reviewed the proposal for risk management coverage from Highland for 2024. If we did not change any of the coverage levels in the plan, the village's cost would go from $39,087 in 2023 to to $43,772 in 2024, an increase of $4,685 or 12%. The Finance Committee discussed 4 items with Ms. Novosel. 1, there are currently 8 police cars listed on the new policy versus our typical 6 cars. That is because our 2 new cars have not finished being outfitted yet. Ms. Novosel shared that if we were able to get rid of the 2 oldest surplus cars by September 26, 2024, then our new premium would go down by $750. Chief Hines is aware of this and will work to ensure that we no longer own the 2 oldest cars by that date. We've already given, and that may note here, we've already given the 1 car to the Village of Elmwood, and they've been very appreciative for that. Number 2, currently all of the police cars are insured up to their actual cash value. If they were insured up to the replacement value, our premium would increase by $450 per car insured. And looking at our claims history over the past 31 years, we have never totaled a car, so a claim has never exceeded the actual cash value. Ms. Novosel shared new coverage that is available for malicious acts. This would cover the village for up to $1 million aggregate for any action taken at a village event or on village property by an individual with intent to cause harm. This would cover anybody attending the village event or on village property. The cost of this insurance would be $420. And 4, previously our cyber attack insurance deductible was $25,000. Last year we decreased the deductible to $10,000. The savings of taking the deductible back up to $25,000 would be $390. With Mike Manford as our new IT support, we have upgraded our IT equipment and quarterly tests are being performed on our cybersecurity and systems. The Finance Committee voted unanimously to recommend that A, we ensure that the 2 surplus police cars are no longer owned by the village by September 26, 2024. B, we continue to insure our police cars up to their actual cash value. C, we sign up for the new malicious acts coverage. And D, we increase our cyber attack deductible from $10,000 to $25,000. This would result in a new premium of $43,052, an increase of 10% versus 12% versus our 2023 premium. If council agrees with this recommendation, this needs to be passed via an emergency resolution at the August 26th council meeting as the new insurance policy goes into effect on August 26, 2024. Respectively submitted, Rob Bartlett and Bob Van Stone.
All right, you've heard the report. Do we have any questions, or do you wish to explain it further, Rob?
Can you speak one more time? I think I didn't hear. So if we, that's a big deductible increase for cyber attack?
It's consistent with the other villages, what they have. And we were there before, and the reason that we were losing Eli, and so we thought, well, we should probably, let's reduce the deductible to provide better coverage while we work to figure out who our new IT support is. We've got the new IT support, and from everything I've heard, he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, very.
I looked at Allison over there. And we've upgraded IT equipment. I know we've bought some new stuff, and he does this testing of our systems that we were never doing before, so that's why we felt comfortable going back to the $25,000 that we had previously.
Anyone else? Remarks?
I think it's well done.
No? All right, then. Motion is second to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right.
What, can I make a comment? We had a visitor to the previous Finance Committee meeting on this subject, and we agreed that, and I don't think it was in the minutes, that we would have been, there's concern was liabilities of trees falling.
Ed, actually, I should have copied you guys. I sent Ed an email, and he had, Peter, was it?
Right.
Yeah, he did research on it, and he said, we're fine. I apologize, that's my fault,
No,
I should have gotten.
The point is that we said Ben would go around with the arborist from Shawnee at the start of the growing season and evaluate a drive-by evaluation of the trees. And my only point is, somehow we have to keep that in our history so that we do the budgets for next year, that's in there. And I don't think that belongs in the Finance Committee report, but I don't know, how do we keep track of that?
Well, I mean, that wouldn't be coming up until, in the spring, next
Yeah.
spring.
Well, when we do the budget for 25, right, in November.
Is that something Shawnee was gonna charge us for? I thought that was
The
just,
answer is, I don't know. We'd have to talk to Ben about that.
okay. I'm not
I
really
would
sure.
think they would just do it, because it helps to plot
Yeah,
out the
I don't
work.
think
I don't
there's
think
a-
they would charge extra for
A
that.
charge for that. I don't.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure we dot our i's and cross our t's, that's all.
Yeah. Well, it's something that
If
we
there-
want to confirm with Shawnee in the spring, that they are actually going to be doing this, yes.
Doing the tree work or doing the drive-by?
The drive around.
Because again, you gotta do the drive-by to know what the work's gonna be. So,
Yeah,
like,
it's
you
a
know,
chicken
you-
and
You
the
can
egg right
also
there.
identify trees that need crowning.
Right. All right, well, like I said, it's coming up in the spring.
Okay.
Matt, I think you're up.
Do,
All right.
we gotta,
I'm gonna start with this parking report, because it's simple.
Go.
Safety Committee met on Monday, July 29th. Present were members Matthew Ayer, Rob Bartlett, and Randy York. Chief Hines, Lieutenant Pitsley, Mariemont Rec Association board members Jordan Galletto and Amy Everhart, and residents Tim and Jolena Bingaman, Rob Egley, Maggie Kenner, Dexter Simpson, and Lila Wells. They all live near Pleasant Street. On or right next to Pleasant Street. The agenda consisted of considering alternative measures for providing and regulating parking, reducing congestion, and improving safety on Pleasant Street. Presently, parking is permitted on the east side of Pleasant. The street is relatively narrow and becomes highly congested, particularly on soccer and baseball game days, something we all know. Residents directly across from the park reported that it is not unusual for visitors to park illegally in no parking curbed areas, or occasionally even block their driveway. Several potential alternatives were discussed. Do nothing, provide parking stickers for residents only. Chief advised that option's not legal, it's a public street. Another option was move the parking to the west, i.e. the park side of the street. Limit parking on Pleasant, specifically on game days. Implement a no parking policy from Denny to Fieldhouse, that little section. Block Pleasant Street altogether at Worcester and reroute traffic. The final suggestion was enhanced communication regarding parking for Rec Association visiting families. After discussion, Chief Hines noted that Mariemont Police Department would enhance parking enforcement on game days. Based on the MRA and MPD recommendations, the committee recommended that for the 2024 fall season soccer, MRA would enhance communication to its visiting teams, including a letter from Chief Hines and a map showing ample parking on Mariemont Avenue and other alternatives. The effectiveness of this measure will then be evaluated. Planned construction activities at Dogwood Park will require the Rec Association to utilize alternative venues for the 2025 spring, summer, and fall sports seasons. The meeting adjourned at 5:05 p.m., submitted by Matt, Rob, and Randy.
All right, you've heard the report. Do we have any questions? We all good?
I move we accept the report.
All right.
Second.
Do we have a second? Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, Matt, you have a second report?
I do, and Chief, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that the letter that I agreed to draft and send has been sent to Amy Everhart. So she's gonna get that out, so we've done that.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, Safety Committee met on Tuesday, August 20th at 7:30 p.m. Present were Safety Committee members Matthew Ayer, Rob Bartlett, and Randy York. Marymount Pool Commission members Tom Gilmore, Alicia Stock, Tim Wiley, and Mandy Rohall. Village Engineer Chris Ertl, and residents Carter Rummel and Doug Zemke. Mr. Ayer recognized the Pool Commission members for their successful capital campaign, presently with $159K in pledges, approximately $90K in receipts to the Mariemont Legacy Foundation, with an additional $50K imminent from a small set of major donors, and targeted total campaign receipts of $168K by December 1st. The Pool Commission described the importance of implementing the project for the 2025 season, with many donors expecting their children to use the new pool and with the current wading pool closed and in need of significant repair if it were to be reopened for 2025. Mr. Erdl confirmed that the competitive bidding process was complete. Mr. Ayer confirmed that the contractors would include temporary fencing for security during construction activities. The attached project summary and cost estimate were presented and discussed. Project costs have increased from $225,000 to $252,000. The pool commission is requesting that the village increase its contribution from $75,000 to $84,000. This is 2025 permanent improvement funds, that is. While the pool commission increases private fundraising from $150,000 to $168,000. These adjusted values maintain the 1/3 village and 2/3 private funding as originally proposed. Mr. Ayer and Mr. Bartlett described that within the municipal financing framework, it would be necessary in 2024 to phase in permanent improvement spending requests such that funds have already been received by a Mariemont Legacy Foundation before purchase orders are issued. And that goes with appropriating and legislation, all that, and so forth. Mr. Ayer agreed to work with the pool commission and engineer Erdl to develop a conforming plan and schedule for 2024 versus 2025 permanent improvement expenditures. After discussion, Mr. York and the safety committee Mr. York moved and the safety committee unanimously concurred to accept the plan, including accepting the bids, recommending to council increasing the 2025 permanent improvement commitment from $75,000 to $84,000, and preparing the appropriate emergency legislation for the August 26th council meeting. Meeting was adjourned at 8:15 p.m. respectively. Submitted Matt, Rob, and Randy. Now, before I go any further, after discussions with Ed, Kelly, Bill, and so forth, that emergency legislation is not for this evening, but it's for when we actually reach in the private funding, where we reach the amount that we're going to be, the maximum that we would be spending in 2024. And we are ever so close. We have that total, and being extremely conservative, making sure that it couldn't possibly, this is being very optimistic that weather would be perfect and our contractors would be moving things right along. That total maximum is 144. We have 127 in cash money that MLF is ready to write a check for, and we have a $25,000 contribution that is literally in the mail. So that means that 252 more than covers that. So that's just in addition to this report. So so if council does accept this proposal, what I hope we can do is call an emergency meeting of council once that last little bit comes in on a parallel path. Mills Fence has penciled in for us that they'll do the first thing, and that's remove the fence sections after the pool is closed and drained and marked closed and all that good stuff. So that could happen as early as a week from Thursday. And then the next phase that happens is demolition. Our demolition contractor has no purchase order, he has no authorization, he has no nothing, but he knows what's going on, and he's penciled us in for when he does receive that authorization. The big thing where we need some help in some way, shape, or form for this thing to all work is that the primary contractor that builds the pool itself, they need to get started on drawings and the permit application that goes to the state in Columbus. And that's really the critical path, is to get them authorized to start on that. And they don't, and so we just don't want to delay that. So if there's a way that we can do that, they're very comfortable with the same type of they're very comfortable with the idea that they've just received a letter of intent from the mayor explaining exactly where we are, and that and so between Ed and Kelly and Bill, if we can figure out how to do that, just to get them started on the drawings,
We can
so we
talk.
don't slow down. In case, 'cause when I say this check is in the mail, it comes from a major bank, and it goes through their donor advised fund process, and it got held up briefly because they'd never heard of Mariemont Legacy Foundation. They don't just authorize checks to a new foundation until they do some due diligence with it. So they had to get hold of Randy and see if he was really a real person.
I had a pulse.
He wasn't a bot, that he wasn't a bot. And I think they were okay with him. So that's
Yeah.
why that's been a little bit of
Divide.
a delay.
Questionable judgment, but that's.
Divide.
So all we would be committing to essentially with this letter is to do the drawings.
Yeah,
I mean, not to build the pool.
And
Yeah.
Bill, you and Ed and I can.
Talk-
do that.
okay.
And essentially, the preparation of the drawings is done at their own risk. If for some reason we never ever get the money, we don't have to pay them for those drawings. Is that
well,
a
if
right
they,
statement?
if they would accept that, that would be optimal for us,
Yeah.
certainly.
Could there be would they consider accepting a two-part contract, or don't we have enough money to cover the drawings?
Oh, I mean, we've got way more than
Well,
funds to cover the drawings. yeah.
Realistically, when do you expect the money in? I mean, I understand.
Yesterday, but but that's why it's,
We got 37,000 today.
yeah.
When do they want to start the drawings, or when do they say they need to start working on the drawings?
Now,
Yesterday.
Bill, I think we can prepare a
You
letter
get-
full of appropriate caveats to protect us and then protect them at the same time. Okay.
I'd still like to have the conversation.
Yeah, we should have she's saying the three of us should have the conversation, but I agree, moving in that direction, yeah, something. If we're only all we're really committing to is the drawing, we're not committing to build the pool.
Right.
Yeah, so, at that step,
So the 140 in 2024, that's demolition and drawings?
oh no, that's,
And-
that's demolition, digging, it's fence removal, demolition, digging the pool, setting the steel.
Okay.
And
How many different
concrete for the
vendors?
pool.
How many different vendors are we talking about paying?
3.
3? Okay.
And that's approximately 140 that's gonna be paid for out of the 159 that's been pledged.
Yeah, 142. And but-
142.
And when that last check comes in, we'll have 152. And Randy's got his checkbook and he's ready to,
So we have $127,503.40 right now.
And does that money have to be transferred all at once, as opposed to incrementally?
doesn't need to be we don't actually plan to transfer it all at once because we're gonna get to cover the 152 for sure, and then the stragglers that come in will cover the 168 that goes into 2025.
We have to have everything to cover anything in 2024. So whatever that number is, that's what we have to have.
144,000, did you said,
Yeah.
best case. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if
Do-
everything
Does
works.
it make sense to table this report pending the emergency meeting? When now we have the hard
Well,
numbers?
I don't think so. I think Matt's worked real hard on
Okay.
this, and Bob.
I mean,
fine.
so,
And I
we
think
don't
we-
have the legislation, that's the key piece, is the legislation, and we're
Yeah.
not doing that until we have
Okay.
the money.
yeah,
But accepting the report, I just don't want our hands to be tied.
I don't think they are. I mean, I
Accepting the
think we
report
go-
is
I think
not
we
the
go with
commitment of the
report.
funds.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have not, yeah, Kelly's gonna have to do that, and that'll be when the funds are coming
So the report would be amended, preparing the appropriate emergency legislation for a special meeting of council
Right.
when the 2024 funds are
Receipt.
received.
Right. Right.
So we're amending the report,
Correct.
and that's your motion?
Yes, I'd like to move that we amend the
Second.
report.
Oh, you motioned second, Mr. Ayer,
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett,
in. Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight,
Aye.
Dr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. Van Star,
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, motion is second to accept the report.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer,
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye. Can I be clear on next steps? Next steps is to appropriate and to prepare
Well,
legislation.
give her the money. and
Well,
then we can-
Money.
So, and
Money.
again, they could.
Show me
it
the
could be
money.
Tomorrow,
Money.
it could, I don't know.
Right.
It's imminent.
Yeah, but that's the very first step, is she.
I've
has
got
to receive the
I got a
cash.
blank check
Get
right
the
here.
money.
So. I wish we had more money in legacy that we could front you. We just don't
Kelly,
have it.
RANKIN.
So,
Right
next
there.
steps, as I understand them, get Kelly the money.
Kelly the money.
Parallel to that, hopefully get a letter of intent to Mid-American Pools to commence with the drawings. However, Kelly, Bill, and Ed are comfortable with
Yeah.
that, and if you
Yeah.
want to talk to the company owner, I'll send it to the three of you all that information. And And so then what I'm also hoping, or it's my understanding, is that when we have this emergency meeting, we'll have the emergency legislation to consider and hopefully pass, and that we'll also be able to appropriate the permanent improvement funds all at that meeting, one meeting. Right, everybody?
For 2024.
Yep.
Yes, that is a
2024
correct statement.
Expenditures. That's correct? Everybody's on the same page with that?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Would the letter have to be approved at that time too? Or don't we need that?
No, I think the letter of intent, is that what you're asking? I don't think we're asking for, those guys are gonna go work for letter
Yeah,
of intent.
we're gonna.
Okay,
It's not
I'm
coming
just
back to
trying
us.
to
Yeah.
make sure we don't have to have another meeting.
Right.
Well, we
We'll
do
do that at the.
have to have one more meeting.
Yeah, one more, I don't want to.
One more emergency
One more meeting.
meeting.
That's fine.
Don't, is anybody leaving town anytime soon?
Friday.
Okay,
For how long?
I come back on Monday. Labor
well,
Day.
you're up, Bob. That's you, buddy.
These are the minutes of the Public Works and Service Committee. The Public Works and Service Committee met on August 20th at 6:30 PM. In attendance were Committee Chairperson Bob Van Stone, Committee members Randy York, Rob Bartlett, Village Engineer Chris Erdl, Fiscal Officer Kelly Rankin, Julie Lockhart, Brad Lockhart, and Bill DeCamp. The first agenda item was consideration of the repaving bids for Patriots Lane. Mr. Earl reviewed his memorandum summarizing the bids. The three bids range from $118,259 to $185,609 and 80 cents. Two of the three bids were less than the engineer's estimate of $150K. Mr. Earl recommended that the village award the project to the low-cost bidder, J.K. Muir, for $118,259. Mr. Earl reported that J.K. Muir has performed well on several projects over the past 10 years. The committee unanimously agreed that the village should accept the bid from J.K. Muir pending council approval of the required supplementary appropriation. The committee also recommended that both pieces of legislation be passed on an emergency basis to accelerate the start of this project. The second agenda item was LED street light replacement, the LED street light replacement program. It was reported that the service department would prefer to have an electrical contractor install the lights due to safety and training concerns. The cost is included in the installation cost reported below. Mr. Van Stone summarized the installation of the stress-crete lamp would cost $770 per street light and would take over 20 years of lower electric costs to recover the investment, which would probably exceed the life of the bulb. When stress-crete bulb needs to be replaced, it would cost an additional $770 and would need an electrical contractor. The option 2 bulb could be installed for $375 per street light and take 9.8 years of lower electric costs to recover the investment, which is probably less than the life of the bulb. When the option 2 bulb needs to be replaced, the service department can't perform the work because it's a screw-in bulb. Mr. Van Stone said he has been to the old Village Square with multiple people, and none of them could see a significant difference in the appearance of the bulb. Mr. Bartlett reported a similar observation. There was a wide range of discussion between the committee members and the residents attending the meeting. Mrs. Lockhart, who had performed fact-finding on the stress-crete bulb, said there was a substantial difference in the color and appearance of the two bulbs and strongly favors the stress-crete bulbs. This was followed by discussing the feature and quality of the bulbs. Mr. Camp reported that the LED lights in option 2 were mounted on baffles, so lights could be directed away from shining in windows, much like the capabilities of the stress-crete lamp. Mr. Lockhart wondered if the cost differential between the bulbs was related to the quality of the lamps. Mr. DeCamp said that the stress-crete bulbs were good quality and Stresscrete was known throughout the industry as being a high-priced supplier. Mr. DeCamp also questioned if the village wanted to be solely dependent on a single source for the Stresscrete proprietary product. The committee recognized the efforts of the Centennial Historic Streetlight Committee members Julie Lockhart, Bill DeCamp, and Greg Long. The committee organized and executed an Adopt the Streetlight campaign, which netted $14,000 in incremental funding for the village and managed the initial painting of the streetlights. The committee also determined the projected annual savings to the village with the conversion from mercury vapor to LED and investigating a variety of LED and globe solutions. The committee arranged for a number of LED options be installed around the Old Town Square and organized a meeting of the Architectural Review Board and received a certificate of appropriateness for 2 of the LED options. Thank you to Julie Lockhart, Bill DeCamp, and Greg Long for your efforts and dedication to this project. The village would not be in a position to improve the aesthetics and efficiency of the streetlights without your efforts. Mr. Bartlett stated the investment recovery period led him to favor the option 2 bulb. Mrs. Lockhart wondered if a community fundraising campaign could be mounted to raise more than $40,000 for the cost differential to install the Stresscrete bulb for the 103 streetlights in the village. Ms. York moved that the village install the option 2 lamp throughout the village, except for the lamp post in front of the Lockhart residence, and the street lights in the historic district would be replaced first. If council accepts the report, Mr. Van Stone will contact Mr. DeCamp to get a formal bid. Based on the initial estimates and the $117K available in 2024, approximately 45 streetlights could be converted to LED bulbs in 2024. The 58 remaining streetlights could be converted in 2025 and 2026 based on the funding in the capital improvement budget. The out-year funding may be supplemented with grants from Duke Energy. The meeting was adjourned at 7:27 p.m.
Okay, you've heard the reports. I have a question, Bob. On the 45 street lamps that you're talking about possibly being able to do the remainder of this year, I mean, is there a lead time on ordering those parts?
That's, tomorrow I'll contact Bill to see what we can do. If he says he can only get whatever he could give us a quote for completing in 2024, as long as it doesn't exceed 17K, we'll bring back and get the forms right through Allison and bring it back to council.
And who's the electrician on this job?
He didn't say.
He didn't say.
But it is going through Bill DeCamp.
Yes,
I mean, the whole project is going through him.
that, through his company, yes.
Okay, right.
So he's got an electrician that would come in and do the work,
Yes,
yeah, for the,
And
because that's what we were waiting on to come back, because we were trying to find someone who would do that work, and particularly if it was only a few, because at that point, we didn't know exactly what the cost would be.
right.
So we couldn't say, we want to do this money this year. So it was a,
So, review for me how this would work exactly, as far as the flow of finances.
okay, there's 2 sources of money, and correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
There's 10K in the capital improvement, and the village has received 7K from MPF,
7125, to be exact.
whatever. But the point being, so we have 17K for 24, and we just want to do the most amount of work we can for 17K.
So is the 10K left from this 14,000?
No, the 10K was in the 2024 capital improvement budget.
Correct.
So where has all the 14,000 in the Adopt a Streetlight program?
We've already paid it.
Okay, you already used that money, is that what you're
So
saying?
the 14,000,
That
half of
14,000
it
was
was,
spent.
Well,
Yeah.
half of it was spent on painting,
Right,
And the
and
other
then the other
half
half is the check we got
is
from
the
MPF a
7K
couple
we're
weeks
now-
ago.
okay, I just wanted to
Yep,
understand
no,
the
that's
flow.
fine. I don't blame you.
Bob, what happens with the street light that's in front of Lockhart's house then? That's what.
we're gonna
clear to
keep
me.
it as a stress
Just leave
street.
it.
The Lockhart's paid for that,
Okay,
and, I thought Randy came up with a good compromise, because Julie, this was, oh, she loves it so
okay,
much.
that, I didn't realize.
Is there
that.
any
They've already
discernible
bought it.
difference
go.
between them?
I
Okay,
can't, I'm a dumb engineer, okay? But I walked down there, I went down there with two different people, and they couldn't see the difference, and one person commented, if, there might be a slight difference, but it's not worth $300 a lamp.
Plus the,
I respectfully
the,
disagree.
the energy savings and all that stuff.
Well, they're virtually the same, energy savings.
Well, and then
Well, I
there's
know,
going
but where the
forward,
payback-
you know,
the
10
payback
years
is
from now, can
different.
you
Right.
replace
Well, the
it or not,
maintenance
then you're
costs,
gonna net.
but I
I'm-
think
cycle.
let
I'm more
Julie-
concerned with what happens 10 years from now, when
think I
these
just
things
said that.
burn out, and now it's a replacement cost of $100
Yeah.
versus $770.
Exactly, right, right.
You know, and that's,
Well, that's being generous. I mean, all my LED bulbs say they're gonna last forever, and they don't.
no, they don't.
Well, they're getting better all the time.
They are getting better all the time.
Okay. Any other questions? Are we good here? Motion and second to accept the report.
So moved.
second.
Second. Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Mr. Brown Knight?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, I think that concludes our reports for the evening. All right, in miscellaneous, again, village offices will be closed Monday, September the 2nd, in observation of Labor Day. Also, I have a couple extra things. We got the clock reinstalled today,
Yeah.
in front of the exemplar.
It looks awesome.
And man, it does,
really
yes,
looks
it
awesome.
really looks good. It's all internals are new now and be keeping up time, and it looks brand new, really. Looks better than new. Quite hot standing out there today doing that. And also on the pool closing, this year, the pool, the last day at the pool will be Labor Day, September the 2nd, correct?
Whatever Labor Day is, yeah.
Labor Day's the
Labor Day
second.
is it on the 2nd? Yeah, is that the correct date?
Week
Yes.
from today.
We are not going to be able to extend the pool opening into a couple of the weekends like we sometimes do, you know, depending on the weather and that kind of stuff, because of Mr. Air going over there and tearing up the pool.
Correct.
Yes.
I'll be draining it
And-
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, well, there you go. So it'd be a kind of a dry swim.
Pull the plug.
All right. All right, ordinances, looks like we have one. Yes? Two. Oh, do we have
No,
two?
no, we have 3 resolutions, but just
Well,
one
resolutions, I think we just have the one ordinance.
Okay.
Okay, you're up.
To supplement ordinance number 0924, annual appropriation ordinance, and to declare an emergency.
All right, we have the first reading. I need a motion and a second to suspend the rules and allow for the second, third reading.
So moved.
Second,
Mr. Air.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
May we have the second reading, please?
To supplement ordinance number 0924, annual appropriation ordinance, and to declare emergency.
All right, second reading, is there any discussion? No? All right, may we have third reading then, please?
To supplement ordinance number 0924, annual appropriation ordinance, and to declare emergency.
All right, and your motion and a second to adopt.
So moved.
second,
Mr. Air.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, may I have a motion and a second to evoke the emergency clause, please?
So moved.
second,
Mr. Air.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, that will be passed. All right, and we have 3 resolutions.
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Resolution to appoint Lisa Wharton as a member of the Community Reinvestment Area to fill the vacancy of Charles Martinez.
All right, that's the first reading. We'll have the second reading next council.
To accept bid of J.K. Muir Corporation for the Patriots Lane Rehabilitation Project, to authorize contract and to declare emergency.
All right, we've had the first reading, a motion and a second to suspend the rules and allow for the second and third reading, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mr. York, may we
Aye.
have the second reading, please?
To accept bid of J.K. Muir Corporation for the Patriots Lane Rehabilitation Project, to authorize contract, and to declare emergency.
All right, second reading, any questions? I think we all know what this is. Are we good? All right, maybe have third reading?
To accept bid of J.K. Muir Corporation for the Patriots Lane Rehabilitation Project, to authorize contract, and to declare emergency.
May we have a motion and a second to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Second, Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight. Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
And Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, motion and a second to evoke the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, that one's good. One more.
To renew current contract for the following kinds of insurance: real and personal property, comprehensive general liability, business, automobile, and other coverages, to pay premiums, and to declare emergency.
All right, we've had the first reading. I need a motion and a second to suspend the rules and allow for the second and third reading.
So moved.
So,
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mr. York. May we
Aye.
have the second reading, please?
To renew current contract for the following kinds of insurance: real and personal property, comprehensive general liability, business, automobile, and other coverages, to pay premiums, and to declare emergency.
Okay, second reading, any discussion? I think we all know what this is. May we have the third reading, please?
To renew current contract for the following kinds of insurance: real and personal property, comprehensive general liability, business, automobile, and other coverages, to pay premiums, and to declare emergency.
All right, motion and a second to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight. Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone. Mr. York.
Aye.
Motion and a second to evoke the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, that will be adopted. All right, one final thing. Susan, because you came in late, I was going to mention this to you during the meeting. I had sent you an email regarding putting into your committee that work on trailers. Did you get that? Did you get that?
No,
You didn't get that?
it's okay.
Oh.
I'll have to figure out.
Okay, I'll resend it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is some work that, it affects 151.09. Little ordinance work there. Okay, we all good? Okay. All right, we're adjourned.
Allison, you got all that?
Huh?
Did you get all that?
I got most of it.
Good enough. Close enough.